reaction that this neighborhood institution is closing down?
It's sad because I've been here 20 years and my husband and I used to come here to have brunch, and just the first time we moved here, he loves the pancakes, I love the rice pudding. It'll be missed because this is literally Astoria, it's the heart of Astoria, and I'm sad to see it go.
And what was the last order you had here?
Pancakes, French toast, rice pudding
To go. And
we'll miss you.
right. And what do you think of the neighborhood changing and the thoughts of this becoming a residential property?
It's hard because I think Astoria is worth growing and more people discovering it, but I'm going to miss it because it was our little secret. It's the art of Astoria. We moved here, we love it here, and they found it. But I'm glad they found it. We'll only grow bigger and better, but we're sad to lose places like this that are like the heart, the mom and pop places, the mom and pop stores. That's what I really miss, and that's what we're losing here in Astoria. But I hope to see.
All right, you have anything else you want to say? You have anything else you want to say?
No, just I love Astoria.
All right, thank you very much.
Oh, now he's yeah.
Where do you work? I work for. I did almost all the interviews on the Usman. I only used the camcorder for like a few shots. What's your reactions that this Neptune Diner is closing?
This is a terrible thing for the neighborhood, to be very full with you. I have been in this neighborhood for over 20 years. This has been my neighborhood diner for over 20 years. I have met people here. I've done business here. I brought my family here. It's been a walkable diner for the past 20 years, and its closing is devastating for the neighborhood and devastating for the memories that a lot of people have had here.
Right. And what are your thoughts that's now being replaced by a residential tower development? What's your thoughts on that?
It is the norm. This is a great neighborhood, and the norm is to take a great neighborhood like this and fill it with apartment buildings. It's just been happening throughout the city. It's going to happen here too.
Right. And does that concern you as a resident of Astoria that something like this, as a neighbor institution, is going away from that?
What we're seeing here is a loss of family businesses. We're seeing it everywhere. We lost Mike's Diner earlier this year. We lost Tasties also in the neighborhood also. So we're losing many of the family-owned places for chains, right? It's being replaced with things like, either a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks or something like that, right? Or a coffee house. So now we lose a full-service restaurant and get a coffee house. Or we lose a family business and we get a franchise. Franchise means big business. The owners are not even in this area. And what happens, there's less services for the people who live here, and services are not personal anymore. It's hurting the neighborhood.
And what do you think is a way that there could be a balance between development and also...
There cannot be a balance. It will never happen. The neighborhood's finished. You're going to see more and more big developers come in and do this again. You can see it. I've been talking about this since 2018. I said that this place will be replaced by franchises, and it's actually happening.
And you have anything else you want to say?
Didn't I give I gave you like 4 good sound bites. Not even an or a All right, you want more? What else you want? I'll give you another one. What else you want?
Just your closing thought.
In 2018, when I ran for governor, I talked about Astoria having problems just like this. I talked about the city itself starving out small businesses and actually bringing in larger businesses and franchises. And it's happening now. We see it. It's been about 6 years, and it's happening to every neighborhood. It's happening more to this one because I live here. I can't stand it. It's a bad thing. We should be supporting small and family-owned businesses. We should not be supporting big business. It gives us worse service. It gives us more cramped environment. It puts more pressure on our infrastructure, and it doesn't increase our tax base at all. It just creates more renters, less owners, and more pain for the city.
All right, can you spell your name?
LARRYSHARPE.
And you ran for governor.
2018 and 2022.
Thank you. Which party?
Libertarian.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What did your last order here at the Neptune Diner?
I ordered Romanian steak, which we order all the time. I've been coming to this restaurant for 40 years.
Oh.
When I came to this first restaurant, my mother bought me, who's passed away. And the first when we came here, you got everything. You got soup, you got salad, you got your main dish, and you got dessert. All of that was included in the price when I first walked into this establishment with my mother. It was supposed to close before, and I was very happy when they delayed it. But now it seems like they're going to leave me for sure. So I wasn't coming, but my daughters told me because I brought them here. They told me by text that the Neptune is closing today. So me and my son, I live in Harlem, always came from Harlem. Me and my son said we have to go to say goodbye, farewell to the Neptune, and that's why I'm here.
Right. And 40 years ago, what would you describe the neighborhood was like 40 years ago?
It was nice. I mean, 40 years ago, all neighborhoods were safe and different. You didn't have to worry about coming over here and thinking somebody was going to do something because of the color of your skin or anything like that. We didn't have that. That's what's going on today, where people of color having to worry about other people. But it was wonderful, and that's why I always kept coming right over the Tri-Borough. Now it's the JFK. It used to be the Tri-Borough. Get off and come here any time of the day. This was a 24-hour diner. So you can hang out and party and come over here, get you something to eat, and then go home. So this is no more Neptune. This is crazy.
Yes, I
So
understand your emotions, but now that they're replacing it with a residential tower,
I know they're gonna have a tower. I wish them all the luck. I wish everybody that lives here understand what foundation they on. They on a strong foundation where it was plenty of joy and everything. I hope that continues with their new venture. That's all I want to say. Farewell.
Can you spell your name?
My name is Alice Isaac, Isaacs.
Thank you
I
very
live in
much.
Harlem.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Tell me, what's your thoughts that the Neptune Diner is closing down?
It's really sad. It's definitely a place that we've been coming to for a long time. So even our kids are coming now. But we started coming when we were dating.
And you said you lived right across from here.
Yeah, I did.
And what's your thoughts of the neighborhood changing as a result? That
Oh,
they're
yeah,
planning to
yeah.
build a residential tower here. What's your thoughts on that?
We were just wondering whether it was going to be residential or commercial, but I mean, yeah, the neighborhood's been changing since we moved here, so it's not a surprise. But it is kind of sad to lose some of these iconic spots. So.
Right. And what do you typically usually order here?
Well, this is the gyro platter. I would get like the souvlaki or just like breakfast food, pancakes, omelets, things like that. Chicken tenders, that's my daughter's favorite. So.
Right. And do you think this neighborhood's losing its identity or cultural identity as businesses like this close down?
Well, I mean, some people would definitely say that, but I think it's the nature of New York that neighborhoods are always changing and adapting, and we kind of keep some good memories, but then keep moving along. So.
And are you taking any? I spoke to some people. They said that they're taking out orders just to have like a piece of it. Some people are taking menus, items. And,
Wow.
Well, we
like
were
that.
just wondering. I was like, I wonder if they would have any like souvenir
Yeah.
items.
Are you
but
gonna take like a piece of what the Neptune Diner was?
I mean, I think you just have a lot of memories from coming here anyway. So I think I'll just hold on to that. We were gonna take a photo at least, and yeah.
You have anything else you want to say, Matt?
No, I think that's it. Do you want to say anything? Yeah, that's cool.
Can you spell your name?
Anna, A-N-A.
You have a last name?
Sure, Mello, M-E-L-O.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you. Tell me, how long have you been coming to the Neptune Diner?
Sure. I'd say it's about 20 or so years. When my wife and I first started dating, we came here quite a bit.
Right. And for many people, this is like a gathering place for their families, dates. What's your thoughts on the loss of such a cultural institution in this neighborhood?
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, I think, for sure. We have a lot of good memories here. And now our children come with us. We've moved out of the area, and so we don't get here as often as we used to. But I think, the city has such a history of changing. Neighborhoods change and change and change. And so it feels like this is just sort of another sign of the change of Astoria.
Right. And where did you move to, by the way, if I could ask?
Sure, we're in Jackson Heights now.
Jackson Heights.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just moved a few stops, right?
Exactly.
And now that the developer's trying to replace it with a residential tower, what's your thoughts of losing such an icon like this for another building?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Well, I feel like, the entire city and Astoria is part of that. Obviously, you see more and more residences, right? I think you have more people living here than ever, and that's going to continue to be the case. And so I'm sure it's tough for a family who runs a place like this not to sell at some point. You probably make a pretty good sum, and there's a big need for housing. So it's sad, but I think a lot of neighborhoods keep changing all the time, and that's part of what makes New York what it is.
Right. And what did you typically, you and your wife, your kids ordered most of the time here? What did you order?
I'm pretty picky, so I would get either a waffle or I would get chicken fingers, stuff like that. Although I think this is maybe the first time I've had the onion rings, and they're delicious.
Right. And are you going to take some to go?
Well, I think we're going to try and see. Now that you mention it, we're going to try and take something. Yeah.
All right. And what's your parting words or concluding thoughts, or a requiem or a obituary for this establishment?
Oh wow! I just think it's a really special place. I think diners in New York City are really special, and the people who come to diners, who frequent diners, who work in diners, are quintessential New Yorkers. And so it's sad to see it go, but it's also awesome that we had this place.
Can you spell your name?
Sure, Brad, B-R-A-D, and my last name is Battaglia, B as in boy, A-T-T-A-G-L-I-A.
All right, thank you very much, Brad.
Thank you.
I don't know. I didn't bring it up for that reason. What you said. Pudding. Rice pudding.
On the last day of the Neptune Diner's operation in Astoria, Queens.
Ooh, today I ordered for appetizers mozzarella sticks, fried calamari, and for the entree Neptune burger, medium rare. And now finishing off with some coffee.
And now, what's your thoughts that this neighborhood institution is closing down now?
It's unfortunate, right? Because it speaks to the community. I myself have been coming here since I was in high school, right? And one thing is though that I'm able to accept is everything changes and we have to adapt to a new economy per se, right? Capitalism will always prevail. I could accept that, but an establishment like this that speaks to the community for many generations, it speaks to New York and Queens, could have put up a better fight, I feel, my opinion.
But there are the two other locations, I think, one in Crown Heights and Bayside, they're still remaining open. Are you aware of that?
I'm semi-aware, but everyone knows Neptune Diner as the Neptune Diner in Astoria. Voted best diner in Queens since the '90s. People know about this Neptune Diner. In my opinion,
Right.
I could be, I could be challenged, but in my opinion.
And what do you typically order here most of the time?
So typically French toast with scrambled eggs and bacon. That's my go-to, but I want to switch it up today.
And how long have you been a Queens resident?
Oh, Queens resident my whole life, born and raised in Queens. So
What do you think? The borough has been changing a lot recently. There's been new developments going across Astoria. Now you see more developments in eastern Queens too. A lot of the diners that were in that part of the borough, they've been turned into banks and other types of buildings and properties. What do you think of the loss of such an establishment like this to the borough of Queens?
yeah, for sure. I mean, neighborhoods, they lose their culture, they lose their identity, right?
Right.
That's one aspect of it. But as I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult in America to stifle capitalism or economic development, right? And it's just par for the course. I mean, there's going to be a new generation born that's never even going to hear about Neptune Diner moving forward. And in 100 years, this will be forgotten, unfortunately, right?
Right. It's part of an adaptation of change.
I'm going to tell you something what Charles Darwin said. It is not the strongest or the most intelligent species that survives. It is the species that's able to adapt the most. We have to adapt. It's part of life. I accept it.
Right. And did you take any takeout orders to go? Some people I've spoken with said they took out extra orders just to get their last yummy bite on the go.
Yeah, nah, I didn't. I mean, we're going to take some to go, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was extra. Just, keeping it simple today.
And where in Queens are you residing or are you coming from?
Dimwards Boulevard. Yeah.
All right.
So not too far from here, but on the other side. Yeah, gotta drive further down.
All right. You have anything else you want to say?
Well, thank you, Neptune Diner, for the years, for the decades. In the last couple days, I've been reading some comments on IG, some stories. You have grandparents that have met here and parents that have met here. So thank you for the food and the memories. That's all.
All right. Can you spell your name?
Spell it?
Yeah.
Israel.
Last name?
S.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
Hope you enjoy your dinner.
Yeah.
Fake news. Univisión, Telemundo. Justo ahora se montaron todo.
Ya no, de 2019.
You know where the restrooms are? Oh, yeah, back there. That way? Yeah. He's killing it. At least you crushed those mashed potatoes.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I put it in the gravy.
Oh wow! It's like a float, like a root beer float.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot to have you reading it.
The 7-Eleven part.
You want it on top?
Yeah, sure. Neptune Diner's last day of operation.
I had salami omelet with onions and extra crispy French fries
And what are you
and
having right now?
rice pudding with whipped cream.
And how long have you been coming to the Neptune Diner?
Probably more than 20 years. Yeah, came here with some close friends and with my father. It was always a place where we'd meet up.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did you typically order here?
I love their brisket, which they always had on Sunday nights. And the omelet and the fries were always great here. Yeah.
And now, what's your thoughts that this neighborhood institution is now closing its doors?
I guess, if you stay around long enough, they all go sooner or later, but it's never happy to see them go.
Did you take any takeout orders to go for just for like nostalgic purposes? Some people I've spoken with.
I came over here last night and I couldn't get in. They were so crowded. So I wanted to make sure to get here. You can't get an omelet and crispy fries like that very many places. So I will remember it for a long time to come. But yeah, it's just that it's a place where it was always here through the years. If you wanted to meet up with certain people, it was just always a place where you'd say, let's meet at the diner. So, and it used to be open all night. You could come here and stay late at night.
And what's your thoughts that it's now being replaced by a residential tower building?
I think they're building so many residential places, and everybody's going to be living here, and there won't be any of the great fixtures that made the neighborhood what it was. I mean, there's always there's a problem with a need for more housing, but when it comes at the cost of these neighborhood fixtures, it's not always a great trade-off.
Did you bring any friends or family from Colorado here, or you just came as a?
I just came to enjoy it by myself. Yeah, nobody was around tonight.
You have anything else you want to say? You have a name I could use for broadcast?
I think that's it. It's just these places. I guess they're like members of the family sometimes. They're just always here, and then when they're not, you have your memories.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.